Well, blessed people, the Lord Jehovah has spoken with me. The Lord has spoken to me about an ocean coming out. I see people running. There is a tsunami that's going to come. That means there's going to be an earthquake that will hit the bottom of an ocean. And I see people running. I see them running for their life. And I see the ocean coming out. And a lot of people running. The tsunami chasing them. And they're running, trying to lock their... He has put me there and I've run for my life with them. Not the way the Lord speaks to his servants. And so, after doing so, then the Lord brought me to stand near that ocean. And he asked me to strike that ocean with the judgment of the Lord. And then, exactly as I saw the ocean chasing them, the ocean began to chase people strictly at the word of my tongue. I passed the judgment of the Lord on that nation, and the ocean came out. Those people are light-skinned people. That area is light-skinned people. So there is a very severe storm that is going to come from the ocean. I do not know whether it's an earthquake strike the bottom of an ocean or it's coming as an ocean storm. But a lot of people are running. I have been running. The Lord put me there. I ran for my life. Together with them, they were trying to lock their shops, lock their houses, and people are running for their lives.
I see a tsunami coming to the earth.
Ninaona tsunami ikija duniani.
I see a tsunami coming to the earth soon.
Ninaona tsunami ikija duniani hivi karibuni.
This is CNN Breaking News.
We begin this morning with breaking news. A tsunami advisory is now in effect for the entire U.S. West Coast and Alaska. This comes after an underwater volcanic eruption overnight in the South Pacific. Look at this video. Incredible satellite images showing a massive ash cloud and shock waves. The eruption happened near the island nation of Tonga. A tsunami, as you can see in this video, has already hit the largest island there, sending waves flooding into the capital, inundating the coastline.
Tongans are on the beach to film the first waves hit the coast. They record the tsunami as it surges through streets near the capital Nuku'alofa, catching some people inside, while others scramble for higher ground. Only minutes before the waves arrive, Tongans hear the Hunga Ha'apai volcano explode.
A second eruption Sunday triggered tsunami warnings in the region.
This woman is in a church in the village of Patanata. She's talking to friends on her phone. They tell her to leave. I can't go, she says. The water's too high outside. The church is right on the beach, and more waves wash inside as she records. Others want to save property. Several try to free up this car on the beach, but then they scramble back as a wave takes the car. These pictures are from the New Zealand High Commission.
And this is breaking. It's been described as the most violent eruption captured on satellite, with the equivalent force of a magnitude 5.8 earthquake. At sea level, the eruption resembled a mushroom cloud, a mass of steam, ash and rock surging out of the ocean 20 kilometres into the air. Within 20 minutes, a rush of waves hit the tiny island nation. Startled locals rushed to find higher ground as water crashed its way through. A river flooding streets and buildings, including this church. Some were caught out by the rising tide. This volcano erupted with a rude shock in the late afternoon local time.
My hand is shaking. What are we gonna do?
There is a tsunami that's going to come. That means there's going to be an earthquake that will hit the bottom of an ocean, strike the bottom of an ocean.
Underwater volcanic eruption on Saturday triggered tsunami warnings across the Pacific Rim.
That massive undersea volcanic eruption and the tsunami that followed.
On Saturday the 15th of January, an underwater volcano erupted off the islands of Tonga. It caused an enormous tsunami, with waves that travelled as far as New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Peru and the US.
The violent eruption of an underwater volcano near Tonga in the South Pacific triggered a tsunami that furiously hit the coasts of this small nation and set off alarms in other countries.
A tsunami warning has been issued for parts of eastern Australia after an underwater volcano erupted off Tonga in the South Pacific.
This once bustling port, now buried in ash and dust. A lush green neighborhood, now just a sea of grey. The island that surrounded the underwater volcano before its eruption, now seemingly gone. The ash that now covers the islands, creating a crisis.
I see a tsunami coming to the earth soon.
Ninaona tsunami ikija duniani hivi karibuni.
Prelude to a violent eruption. On Friday, the Hunga Tonga Hunga Hapai volcano sent plumes of smoke and ash shooting into the sky. In an explosion so powerful, it sent shockwaves around the world.
And from this tiny speck in the Pacific Ocean, shockwaves across the globe. Tsunami warnings were issued for Pacific Islands including Fiji, Samoa, Hawaii and Norfolk and Lord Howe Islands, along with the Australian East Coast, Japan, the US and Canadian Pacific Coast. The impact stretched to New Zealand, Ecuador, Peru and Chile. Those shockwaves travelled at more than 1,000 kilometres an hour, reaching almost 7,000 kilometres to Perth, with the sonic boom heard in Alaska, almost 10,000 kilometres away. Tsunami sirens were heard in Ecuador. A 2-metre tidal surge and large waves washing ashore sank a number of boats and damaged others at a marina in New Zealand's far north.
This boat sunk all through the harbour. It's unbelievable.
Plumes of smoke and ash were estimated to be about 20 kilometers high. So fierce was the eruption that tsunami warnings were issued across the Pacific, including in Samoa, Australia, Japan, Hawaii, Chile, and the US Pacific coast. Evacuations were ordered in parts of Japan after forceful waves were detected, and Hawaii was slammed by waves of up to 2 feet.
Well, the world has seen and felt the shockwaves of a massive underwater volcano on the doorstep of the Pacific island of Tonga.
This volcanic eruption in Tonga was so powerful that the impact was felt 10,000 kilometers away in Peru. The waves battered boats in Japan and New Zealand. Floods lashed Fiji, Chile, and Ecuador too.
From Japan to New Zealand, littered with sunken fishing boats, the powerful waves tossing them like toys.
The underwater eruption was so powerful that it was detected around the world.
Storm stretching from Albury through to Port Macquarie.
We turn now to that rare tsunami advisory for the entire North American West Coast from Alaska to California. And take a look at these images from Pacifica, California, showing waves crashing into the shoreline.
And I see the ocean coming out and a lot of people running, the tsunami chasing them. The Lord has spoken to me about an ocean coming out. I see people running.
People are rushing to safety after the eruption, he said. New Zealand's Emergency Management Agency issued a tsunami bulletin.
This desperate mum then rushes to gather her children.
Everybody get up! Let's go! Just get up! Get up!
Her anxiety rising with every passing second.
The volcano is erupting, it keeps erupting! Get up! Let's go fall from here!
And police are asking people to move to higher ground.
In Peru, tsunami waves crashed through a market, washing away stalls and goods, sending panicked shoppers running in fear of what might come next.
There's a tsunami advisory in effect. Stay out of the water, off the beach, and away from the coast.
On January 15, 2022, the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano in the nation of Tonga produced its most powerful eruption ever recorded.
It set off a lightning storm that lasted 7 hours and had 400,000 strikes.
The generation of the tsunami was associated with one of the largest volcanic explosions ever recorded. NASA scientists estimate that this explosion was just as powerful as the simultaneous detonation of 10 million tons of TNT.
Volcanic eruption near Tonga more powerful than nuclear bomb. The shock wave produced by the explosion, as well as the unusual nature of the tsunamis it generated, will have scientists studying the event for years. Tsunamis were detected not just in the Pacific, but in the Atlantic, Caribbean and Mediterranean as well.
The eruption of the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano was so powerful that space satellites captured an atmospheric shockwave that radiated out from the volcano at close to the speed of sound.
Scientists say Saturday's eruption could be the worst volcanic eruption the Pacific has experienced in decades. Not even the volcanic island itself was spared. Satellite imagery shows it has now largely sunk into the sea.